Hey, welcome to this edition of the SA Crypto Market Analysis with myself, James Preston.
And myself, Graeme Tennant.
And this edition proudly brought to you by Crypto Fest, happening next week, Saturday the 7th of September, down at Shimmy Beach Club, V&A Waterfront in Cape Town. Going to be a cracker.
Looking forward to that.
Graeme is speaking. He's going to be there talking about gold, talking about Libra coin. Other speakers, Simon Dingle, Professor Angela Itsokovitz, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Earl Loxton of DCX Capital. They are creating a shake-up in the market. Their top 10 cryptocurrencies weighted by market cap investment opportunity, DCX Capital. Abraham Cambridge, the CEO of Sun Exchange. Marius Reitz of Luno. Richard D'Souza of Altcoin Trader. Fariza Messani of Valor. So you can imagine an exchange war happening there. Connie Galippi of BitGive. Gray Jabesi of the Gray Av podcast, Rossello Lopez, who is the CEO of Stratum. And that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to speakers. It's going to be an incredible conference, one day only, Saturday, the 7th of September. Get down. All you got to do is go to cryptofest.coza and you can get 15% off your tickets if you enter this code. Hashtag, you got to use the hashtag CF19SACrypto. I will put it in the show description there on YouTube and in the podcast notes as well. Right, so let's get into it. Graeme, tell us what's happening. You're still looking bearish.
All right, yeah, let's get into it. So I'm on a 3-day chart here, so bigger time frame. Just to recap briefly, we've had a great run up this year so far. We're in the consolidation area at the moment, which on the surface of it, you say, this is a bull pennant. Okay, it's a continuation pattern, and we're going to break to the upside and continue going to the moon. Okay. However, if we zoom in closer, I do have some concerns.
You take away our hopian.
Well, give and take. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is on the 4-hour time frame, so we're zooming in a bit closer here. And for me, what's concerning is that we're getting real bunching around this lower area of the pennant. Okay, and it just looks to me like it's looking for a trapdoor to the downside. Okay, so I've highlighted the 10K area, which is proving to be an incredibly important area of support, and we've dipped our toes through there a couple of times, and we've got a couple of wicks, which has been quickly bought up. But you can see that we're getting lower highs, and it just looks like it wants to move to the downside. If we were bunching to the top here and looking like we were going to move to the upside, it would be a different story. But so this is just throwing doubts on the bullish continuation theory from my perspective. And if we go in even closer, this was an important area I felt back in, where was that? That was towards the end of August. This looked like a continuation pattern that we could break to the upside. So let me just make this a different color. And clearly we broke violently to the downside.
Yep.
Okay. And that was the market saying to us, look, there's still a lot of sellers around. I'm still pretty bearish. And we then got some sideways movement, then big aggressive long spill to the downside, slow buying up, then a strong spill. So that's kind of been the pattern. And only recently we've seen a nice green candle. There was a Monday, good volume. So perhaps this is turning around. Okay, we could be bottoming out here around the 10K level. We're going to look to move to the upside. But just based on what I'm seeing at the moment, I'm still biased to the bear side, but perhaps less than last week. So it's keeping us guessing. What we are seeing without any doubt is a real contraction in volatility. So we're going to get a move. We're going to get a move one way or another, just a matter of time for the market to tell us which way. And then we can obviously jump into the market and try and trade that. The problem is that if it breaks the downside here, and I think it's going to go with real momentum, we could get a fairly poor entry. So if you are looking to trade this short, I think enter now. I'm holding a low leverage short position in expectation that we get that downside move. I do have a pretty tight stop loss, so we move it to upside. I'm out of that trade, but I think there's a lot of reward if we do break down with that real velocity that I think is a decent possibility.
Now, part of the reason why you're bearish is because Bitcoin's been spoken of as a safe haven asset in recent weeks.
Yes.
And you're looking at the Bitcoin to gold price, which I don't think anybody has done in South Africa, certainly. Take us through what that chart's telling you.
Cool, so here's some, another perspective. So I've been keeping an eye on gold and silver, your safe haven assets, in the light of trade wars and a lot of economic data that's coming out that's not showing very good strength. And the Fed is now again lowered interest rates, which says that they're concerned about the economy. So you're getting all this news, and that's been the catalyst for seeing gold break out of a multi-year resistance level, which is very exciting for guys in precious metals. And Bitcoin initially seemed to get to ride that wave. But I'll show you one chart that's really interesting, and this is the Bitcoin versus gold chart. So now when you set this up, you see the same kind of broad pattern, but here we got a very, very clear flat bottom triangle. This is not looking like a pennant anymore. This is looking like a reversal bearish pattern, and I think that there's a very good possibility that we drop to the downside here, which would mean that Bitcoin is depreciating against the gold price. So in the battle of the safe haven assets, Bitcoin seems like it's setting up to come second. Obviously everything can change. It takes one day for Bitcoin to shoot the lights out and we're looking different, but right now gold seems to be in control of that safe haven asset environment. So if we get some good news coming back and gold starts to slow down, that might mean a move into risky assets, perhaps out of Bitcoin, and that could see us then give up the 10K level, which would see us spill to the downside. So this is the time where you really need to be concentrating, when the volatility is squeezing, and often people get distracted because it looks boring, but this is the time where you need to be looking to set up your trades.
Now, Graeme, question of the week this week comes from Catherine. Catherine says, can you ask Graeme to explain the concept of an ICO? An easy explanation might be nice. I know it's a noob question, but actually something a lot of people don't know for sure.
Cool. So maybe we can tag team this one. But an ICO is essentially a mechanism for businesses or projects to raise capital. So in traditional terms, you would have an initial public offering. So you would go to the public and say, I'd like to raise some capital for my business. Will you come into my business and you'll take shareholding before we list on the exchange. Okay, and the same thing happens in crypto markets, where you have a project that wants to raise capital for some blockchain business or concept, and it's a chance for investors to get in before it actually lists on the exchange. So it gives it some kind of backing before you throw it out into the market.
And so in the same way that an IPO stands for initial public offering, an ICO stands for initial coin offering.
100%.
And that comes from the fact that it's a digital coin. So you can create an ICO on the Ethereum network, on the Neo network, on the EOS network, the Cardano network, a whole bunch of smart contract platforms where you can create a token, a digital coin, and you have a coin offering. There is the IEO, initial exchange offering, which is just an ICO facilitated through an exchange. And then there is the STO, which is a security token offering. A security token means a security is basically whatever the project does and what the founders say they're going to do is going to impact the performance of that token's price. That's the basic definition of a security. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. So you get an STO as well. Good question, Catherine. I hope that answers it.
Yeah.
In what, 2 minutes?
Pretty good time.
Yeah, we did. I hope if it doesn't answer your question, then please let us know in the comments, and we will do our best.
Absolutely.
With a maybe a separate video.
Yeah.
Well, Graeme, there we go. This episode, of course, sponsored by Crypto Fest. Make sure you're there Saturday the 7th of September. That's next Saturday. V&A Waterfront, Shimmy Beach Club, cryptofest.co.za.
If you're in Cape Town, you got to get down there. It's a weekend. There's no excuses. I mean, the speaker lineup is great. There's going to be good network opportunities. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. We're going to have a good party afterwards as well.
Absolutely.
So we'll see you there. Graeme, thank you very much.
Cool. Thanks, James.
We'll see you in the next episode. Cheers, guys.
SA Crypto is not a registered financial advisory, and the information provided in this market analysis is for informational purposes only. Each audience member is responsible for their own financial decisions, and SA Crypto cannot be held responsible for any decisions made by those within its audience. SA Crypto strongly encourages all audience members to consult a professional and registered financial advisor before making any financial decisions.